Hey everyone, let's get some Project Life happening. So, got a couple of photos here, just the everyday kind of stuff, which is what Project Life is great for. And then I've got the printable pocket cards that we can use. So, we've got the 4x6s and 3x4s, and I'm just going to have a play around and work out where I kind of want them. So, at the moment, I've cut my photos out, but that's just roughly to see if I want to cut them. I can definitely have them cut down smaller or whatever, or keep them the same. That's what I decide as I'm playing with each card. The cards situated, or the pattern paper if I'm cutting pattern paper down. Look at any cutter parts that I have in the kit. So I've got this one and the other one from the Storylines collection. None were jumping out in terms of words or pictures. I've got, photos of my children cuddling and watching TV, photos of them making the fish tank, and then a cricket team photo where they're talking after the game. So it's not really goes along with that. So it was a bit tricky to pull any of those cut apart pieces out. Instead, I'm going to work on these two cards. So the blue one's going to be my title card for the month, and then this one here with the two photos of my sons. One watching, they're cuddling, and then they realised I took a photo, so then one put his hand up to say no photos, and still I took a photo. I actually have quite a few photos like that. I hope I'm not the only teenage mum that has that situation happening. So I decided I had no idea what I'm going to do with those photos. So I went to title card. Picked out this cute little raccoon guy, and I'm going to use the gold alphas to spell out the word March. I work on my Project Life actually my albums really, month by month. So I put layouts in there, whether they're 12x12, 9x12, 8.5x11, whatever kind of size, and then I put Project Life pages in as needed. So I really just don't mind I actually don't mind it. I actually really love the difference between the layouts and then Project Life, and the different sizes and different designs and elements and sizes and everything that you can possibly do. It just keeps it a lot fun for me, and it's really cool to flip through an album and see all that happening. So I do it month by month, then just really what happens in that month, in terms of one month might be all just layouts and no Project Life, or it'd be pretty rare if I had just Project Life and no layout, because I can't help myself. I can easily do a layout more than Project Life, because Project Life I have to be a bit organised in terms of having a colour and knowing the order of them. So, and it's just a lot more, I don't know, I just end up doing scrapbooking a lot more than the Project Life. Anyway, so I've worked out I'm going to add this word adventures here. It's just one of the ephemera pieces from the ephemera pack, and then I've cut out two of these painty pieces from the printables. The orange one is the normal size, and then the pinky one is the one from the sheet where I printed it half page, half size. So add in a little banner up the top there, and that's going to be that cluster. And I really like how cute this little title card is. Very cool. Has nice layer, nice base to it with that Project Life design that Deb's made. And then we've just added some awesome ephemera and stickers and a title to make it work. So I'm going to flip through the ephemera and work out what I could possibly put on this layout, on this card. But I do treat it kind of like a layout. So each one has its own little design and works together as a whole card. And then when you put them all together, because all the colours and the collection and the kit and whatnot are the same, it all has that correlation. I really like to do that when I'm doing Project Life. I'm just cutting out one of these like painty circles, and I'm going to end up putting it down here. And then I found this gold heart in the ephemera as well, and it's going to be up there. So this one's going to have the same kind of thing, a bottom left cluster and a top right cluster, and I didn't realise until literally just then. But it looks really nice together in the end. It's not like you could literally do that for every card, and I think it would still balance and look really nice. So just cutting down that phrase strip just because it had a lot of white space and I didn't really have enough room for that. Pulled out these cute labels because they were at the bottom of the little section where I divide my labels in, and I decided I was looking for a circle one, but I did see them, so I pulled them out to see if I could use them somewhere, and voila, here I can use it. So who else has been, is, and I say in inverted commas, a bit. My goal for this month was to kill my kit and to finish one of my albums because I'm still working on 2019. I'm still working on 2018. Yeah, I'm still working on 2018 because it's cricket. Oh yes, I'm still working on 2018. I have printed some photos for 2019 for like the first 3 months, and I'm thinking about doing like a memory planning style so that I can just quickly do it on the couch, maybe. But all I've done is printed them and put them in the template to the right size, so I haven't got there. But who needs to just win her own pattern? What she can. I think because I take so many photos, I love to put so many in my albums. I like to just have them that I end up having a lot for each year. I definitely could, narrow it down and do a lot more project life and less layouts. I know some people are very structured in, they might do 2 layouts for the month and then 2 project life pages or, something along these kind of lines. And I'm very envious, but because I couldn't do that, because I couldn't narrow it down. Even though my children are getting older and I'm getting less photos, I'm getting less photos of like the everyday kind of stuff, but I'm getting, when we have an event, we go on a holiday or we go, out for dinner or something, I have a big cluster of photos then that I can add, so that kind of bulks up my layout. And really, I don't know, we're all goofballs, so it's just fun to document it and add a whole page for it. I don't journal a lot on my layouts, so it's not like I'm like, okay, well I've documented that and therefore I don't want to document it again because I'd be writing the same thing. Anyway, it's what works for me, and I'm sure everyone has their own way that works for them, but it'd be interesting to see what other people's strategies are in that area, so we could all, maybe help each other with some ideas, or what works for you might be something that works for someone else, or could be tweaked a little to add to what I'm already doing to make it a little bit more interesting and fun. Now that little circle is just so cute. It's like a postage, like a stamp that they would stamp on top of a letter to say that they had, had transported it or about to transport it. It's really fun. So things like that are just really cute, and they just, float my boat. So just added a couple of pieces of ephemera, including this label that I then am adding a bit of journaling. Children have filled the fish tank for the first time. And that's just going on. It's not, it's not the best quality photo because obviously they've got the light on top of the photo open. The fish tank open. But that's okay. It's a memory. And I'm just cutting down one of those phrase stickers because I didn't want the whole phrase. I just wanted the word enjoy. And that's going to stay there. Add some enamel hearts to it. If you notice, I cut down that photo before. This one I'm going to keep at the same size. I am just going to add this little ephemera piece. Actually, I really like it, but I also like the colour, and it just perfectly works there for the size and the colour in terms of a layering piece. And this is where they're adding the water to the fish tank. And I pulled out a few pieces of the ephemera like that the fox and the star and the tag, because I really think it's cute and I want to see if I can get it onto this Project Life spread. At the moment I can't, because obviously these photos take up a fair bit of the card. So it's nice to add little ephemera pieces in there, either, at the top or the bottom or the corners. It's always good space. And sometimes, not so much when I'm got a photo and it's made into a 3x4, but especially when there's a 4x6, it's nice to use a bit of dead space where there's, you know, nothing happening, or you want to cover something up to put some ephemera. Or another thing is to take a photo and keep, you know, put your subject or the photo to the left of the, you know, the screen or the photo, and that way you have that space on the right to add. Or take a landscape photo and you could put a, you know, phrase or some words or a little cluster on it, but you can still see the gist of everything going on. It's just a nice little way to add some touches to your project life. Adding some stickers, added that camera that I fussy cut and put down the bottom. And just going to add one little heart. It's very hard, like I always go to try and put little heart enamel dots in the middle of the camera, in the middle of like where the lens would be. It's just, I've seen it, I guess, early on, and I've done it a couple of times, but it's always my go-to, and I have to go, oh no, maybe not today, or oh yeah, today, yes. So it's just interesting that it just is sort of like muscle memory, that it just does it. I'm going to add this banner here. I really like how cute this turns out. So just stapling that down for some interest. And look, the kid is going to find his home here on this card. It's going to be so cute. So I'm going to add some journaling to a couple of these white strips on the card. I had to think about what I was writing, but that's going to go on. And then I'm going to I haven't done the 2 strips that are underneath the banner up the top, so instead I'm going to add some of the foresty green washi tape that I've pulled out from my stash to add to the kit this month, and that's just going to add a pop of that. So I'm going to do the 2 strips under the banner, and then I'm going to add a little swatch of the washi tape down the bottom as well, just to even out the colour on the card and not make it so top heavy, but it just works. So cute. And the good thing about stapling it down means that I could lift it up to put this washi tape under there without having any issues. On he goes. Who's used a roll of washi tape? I have not done it yet. I don't know. I don't use it enough. I love it, but I don't use it enough to be able to say I've finished a whole roll. Pretty sure, unless if I've done it, I don't remember, but I don't know why I wouldn't remember, because it seems like something so crazy and unachievable. I really like this rose gold frame, and I try a billion ways to make it work. So I didn't do a billion, but I did a few ways. I've left it in here so you can see my little thought process with layering, and you know, maybe it might give you some ideas of different ways to layer, because it's not like that some of them didn't work, it's just that I don't like it, as, you know, it's just not the right way. And I really like the way it turned out in the end. In fact, I didn't even use it, so I'll have to work out. And I really like this. I don't know why I didn't leave it like that. I don't know, like, sometimes in editing I just want to yell and go, why? And go back in time and just leave it that way. Other times I'm happy that I've changed things over, and I am happy, like it works out well, but that little black and white flower inside this frame was just really, really cute. So I'm going to try this fox, even though I was like sure that it was going to be too many foxes on the page, and really it's a different type of fox, so nope. And still going to just have a little bit of try with layering. But yeah, hopefully I'm not the only one that goes crazy and gets stuck on something and then therefore can't move away from it, continues back to it, and then in the end just finds, you know, I started with this little card, this ephemera piece. Why did it have to change when I'm going back to it? It's so funny. But in the end, I like these 2 together. It brings a pop of the red. And then I find another ephemera piece, actually some words. So it's here when I realize, oh, maybe I want something with words on it. And because when I organize my kit at the beginning of the month when I'm unboxing it, I have a section in my really useful box tray up the top that has got the ephemera pieces in it, then another section with the labels, and then the third section with pieces that have got words on them. So I split up my ephemera to make sure that it's easy to find something that, you know, goes along with what I need. So I'm just going to lay out this tag and this, I guess it's like a ticket kind of not size, but ticket kind of shape. But it's not a ticket because obviously it's just a phrase. But I really like how that sits, and I'm just going to nestle that photo, that flower. 3 videos I recorded today, and every time I've said photo instead of flower at the beginning, and I have to correct myself. Gosh, crazy, crazy, crazy. So just adding a dashed line around it, just needed a pop of the black to help with the flowers, but also just help with the border that's going on with the card. And adding a doodly, scratchy, dirty, not dirty, but messy line around the red tag. And there's 2 cards are done. And originally I did have 3 photos in the middle of the Project Life spread, but when I went to grab them, the photo fell behind my Alex drawer, and I did not feel like moving it because it was the middle of the night, and I wanted to tea screen rather than move things and have the hassle of it was just crazy. So I'll get that later and I'll add it to the next other side. But it was just where it's just that the photo of the tank, it was all full and it had the light on and it was looking blue, and it was, you know, the water was filtering. So it's not like it's the best photo in the world and tells, you know, the whole story, but it's just a little bit like, really, when I seen it fall. So I've added, fussy cut this little banner, and then, or this ephemera piece, and then the rainbow, and then I'm going to add my journaling all the way around this 4x6 card. Just thought that was something cute to add to the border that was going on. I didn't want to add a label as an extra piece to that cluster on the right there. Instead, it just is a nice way to add a different pop of journaling to a card. So you definitely do it by a 3x4 or 4x6, doesn't matter. It'd be really cool, maybe, if you did a couple of lines of journaling around, so that it was sort of like, I'm doing it with my finger, but that's not really going to help you to know what I'm talking about. Going around and then going around again and again, so that it goes right into the middle, maybe even. That'd be cool. Maybe I might need to try that if I ever. Sometimes I'm so bad at journaling. I should write more because, you know, if my memory fades, or if the boys are reading it later without me, or maybe that should be a goal of mine. Anyway, that layout, that little card's done. And then this little card, another filler one, just comes together so quickly. I decide that I have to use these cards, and then I'm trying to work out what the third piece was going to be, and the little rainbow tag is it. Sometimes you got to just go with your gut straight away. Don't hoard the things, don't overthink the things, and just get it going. So I really like the way it's sitting, and putting them on a different angle like this makes it look like you've randomly dropped it and it looks perfect, but that's not always easy to get. You have to have a little play with things to make it look random. On goes the flower, and I'm going to add a doodly dotted line border on this card, and then I do on the blue card on the right. I go around the edge on top of the Project Life card and do it a few times so that it's a bit of a messy border. Here we go. And then I'm just going to add a couple of enamel dots and then put it all together to have my Project Life spread. And hopefully this has given you some ideas to make some Project Life. Hopefully you're going in and getting creative. I want to see your Project Life spreads because I really like the ephemera and the colours on this kit. So it'd be really cool to see how it all comes together with your Project Life cards as well, and layouts. So definitely come along and share with me, or, you know, in the Kitaholics Facebook group, or if you don't want to show everyone and happy to share with me, then just private message me and I'd love to see it on Facebook. Excellent. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you.